I second that. No complaints, Matt. All right. In today's Climate Matters, the Aspen and Bighorn fires were devastating to the top of the Catalina Mountains, and in a natural world, it would take decades to replenish those trees. But thankfully, there are groups now that try to restore the environment at the top of the mountain to keep the climate as stable as possible. Storm Tracker 4 meteorologist Daniel McFarland explains.
Fires like the Aspen or the Bighorn cause a lot of damage at the top of the mountains, and it can take decades to recover with nature on its own. But there's things people can do to help out that recovery process to go a little faster.
John Isley is a longtime Arizona resident and once owned a home at the top of Mount Lemmon in Summerhaven. Unfortunately, the Aspen fire started during his time on the mountain, and his family was forced to evacuate.
Yeah, Aspen fire that took out 200 homes plus. We were lucky to get saved.
And after their house was saved, John's wife got involved to help save the mountains.
They started a group called Trees for Mount Lemmon, where we replanted the trees, that were burned. And there was no seed bank for the ponderosa up there. So they actually collected seeds, sent them to Flagstaff to be germinated because that had a similar climate, and then brought them back and we planted them.
This is a long process that takes years, but after the Aspen fire, the group learned they needed to have ponderosas on standby to be ready to plant after a large fire. After the Bighorn fire in 2020, the Forest Service planted 43,000 ponderosa pines to help restore the mountain for this decade. Trees are not only providing food and shade for mountain creatures, but they also help control the temperature for the top of the mountain by keeping it cooler. More trees means that the temperature is able to stay stable for longer. If the mountain had been bare for a long period of time, many of the animal species would not have survived. A big concern is obviously that trees are fuel for wildfires. As long as they receive steady rainfall, which is in question, they should be fine for years to come. As of now, we're beginning to enter that wildfire season.
So we'll see a decline in wildfire activity generally in July as those monsoon rains come. And then again, we'll see another decrease potentially, usually in October also, as the temperatures begin to rise and we get those cooler overnight temperatures.
From the west side, Daniel McFarland, News 4 Tucson.